Hi guys, GD's Food for Thought. Today is August the 4th, 2025, and it's 10:53 a.m. And I gotta download y'all. So, a big reason why I'm always trying to stress to y'all about emotional control is because it's not because I don't want you to feel like that we as humans shouldn't have emotions and we don't have the right to feel how we feel. We always have the right to feel how we feel. However, people will use that against you. People will deliberately set up scenes or situations that's made to make you feel some type of way. You know what I'm saying? Like they would do something that anybody on this earth would feel some type of way about, but record you secretly and your reaction to it and make a narrative on it as they want to. They will not show anything leading up to it. They will not tell anything that they've done to put you in that position where you are reacting in a way that is not your normal behavior or that is like pretty outright, you know. It's called controlling the narrative. And meanwhile, the way you react is in that rare moment is the way they act 24/7 or the daily, you know? And the way you reacted in that moment is also something that will trigger them, which is how they come up with stuff like that. People really try to dismiss stuff like that like it doesn't happen, but if people would do that to you in terms of you know, in the bedroom, why would you think they wouldn't do it to you to utilize in any other way, especially in terms of them trying to paint a narrative of you and trying to paint a picture of your character that they could not do any other way besides doing something like that, because that is just not you. And especially when it's a situation where they know it's something that you don't even have knowledge of. Like, there's a lot of things you might not have knowledge of. Like, you might be dating somebody and they might have somebody on the side that want to take the front seat instead of the side. You might be dating somebody that you didn't know that had somebody else, and the whole time they married to them, you know, and people and she think that you are impeding on their relationship. In reality, you knew nothing about her. Y'all might have been living together in some mode. Or the person that you're dating is seeing somebody else, and that person that they're seeing, they want to take front seat. So they're trying to do anything to convince this person that you're not who they think you are, especially when it comes to them trying to make you look like a WHORE, you know, making fake profiles and them and their friends, and you know, pretending like they're in contact with you, or them getting, you know, getting one of their male friends to pretend like they linked up with you, like somebody that you don't even know, like somebody you don't even know, which means you wouldn't even know this was going on behind your back. You wouldn't even know that you needed to defend yourself, you know. You wouldn't even know anything's going on. You wouldn't even know that that person don't like you because you don't know nothing about them. Or the little family situation that I explained, like you being adopted and being estranged from that part of your family, you not even knowing that it exists, but the whole time they got some type of animosity or hate against you because somebody else passed away, like a grandpa or grandma, and left you something, and they felt some type of way because they did not think that you deserved anything because you weren't a part, because they chose not to make you a part. Even still, they might have their own money. That don't mean they broke. They just greedy, you know. They don't think you deserve it. Who knows what the animosity might be against you? It could be anything. Like, shoot, you might be the child of the daddy's side piece, you know. You might be the side piece baby, so the stepmom or step grandma, whoever it is, don't like you, even though the grandpa or the daddy left you something, because it's not your fault that the man got another woman pregnant and you came out of it. But hey, they might not like you because of that, anything. Like, but by the time you are in a position where you are putting it together, it'd be so much later, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be for a reason, and that reason can be for multiple things. Like, if they're trying to secretly record you in the bedroom, it's more than likely to exploit you or to use it to hold against you because they are mad at you. You know, who knows why people do that? We know people will put pictures of you up online after you break up or something, you know. Or it might be a female that don't like you, she get hold of pictures from somebody else. And we know how AI is, artificial intelligence. All they need your face or something to put on there. They can exploit you because they don't like you. You heard y'all broke up or anything stupid, tarnish your character, your reputation, so nobody else like you. It could be because you got a trust fund or somewhere that you don't know about, and maybe you are adopted, you are estranged from that side of your family, and maybe they you know, was able to get in contact with like this person you were dating or some way or another, and they are in cahoots and they set this thing up so they can tarnish your character because somebody wants to be power of attorney. It's about money. Maybe it's somebody that literally, maybe they want custody of kids that y'all share, you know. It could be any reason, but in order for somebody to do that, I'm gonna say it's something that they are getting out of it, whether it is for vindication or some type of justification they feel for themselves because they don't like you, whether it's money involved, whether it's custody, anything, you know, anything. And the saddest part is all it takes is for somebody not to like you. By the time you get the information, and that's if you ever get the information, you know, if it ever tends to come back up, damage would have been done already, you know. they would have already been and did it, got the recording and all that stuff before you even know that it was even a situation that existed that they even needed or wanted, to purposely put you in that position. And I speak on things that I've been through, you know what I'm saying? So especially when it's stories that's hard to believe or it's things that's so bizarre, it sounds like a Lifetime movie. But let's be real, Lifetime and Cinemax and all them don't get their ideas from just out of the air. I mean, some of them they do, but it's a lot of movies and stuff that they write. It's based upon true things and real stories that happen to people that sound so crazy that they're hard to believe, but yet they are so real and true. That's why some people stay silent. They don't talk about stuff that didn't happen to them like that, because they don't feel like anybody will believe them, because it's so bizarre what people do when they think that nobody is going to find out, especially if there's somebody with money or they have a name, they're famous, or there's somebody that got a little clout. They know that it's so much easier for people to believe that it's not true because it'd be so far-fetched and bizarre. However, it's only scratching the surface of the story. Like, you wouldn't even be able to stomach the story in its entire scheme, especially if it's something that's been done to somebody since they were a child, especially if it's something that's been done to somebody over years and years and years and years. It's so hard for people to stomach. So I know a lot of people like to keep certain things to themselves and don't ever have an outlet to talk about it, to speak on it, or feel comfortable even sharing their story, because they know that more people like, that is crazy, you're crazy, that's bizarre. So that's one thing that I don't mind being the face of, the one that's going to speak on the stuff that has happened and that do happen that sounds so bizarre that it's hard to believe. But however, think about it. Jeffrey Dahmer sounded bizarre, didn't it? And I always talk about him because that's bizarre. MD House Horror, bizarre, ain't it? It's so many stories that are bizarre that we know to be true. I mean, I'm just saying. So I'm going to speak for all of us that can't speak up. And this is just part of what I've been through. This is some of my story. I know some of y'all's story too. Things that this is me. So I'm just willing to put myself out there. It's time that we stop being quiet because we don't want to look crazy, and we stop being quiet because of what you think other people are going to say when this is what you've lived through. You know what I'm saying? And stop protecting the people that live in the background doing diabolical things and being able to pay their way through life just because another person is worried about what everybody's going to think. Because you can speak your story today, and a week later you see it all over the world news that this person, that person just got arrested, and then you see why they got arrested, and your mouth will hit the floor like, oh, I saw somebody just talking about that on TikTok last week. They weren't lying, they were telling the truth. Oh my God. I mean, it's not, and it wouldn't even be for just that. You might be speaking on something because it's just a part of you, your healing. That's how you're releasing your past. That's how you're releasing and letting go of things that you know to be true. You don't have to prove anything to nobody but yourself. You don't have to prove your story to nobody because you know what you've lived through. Now, we know people be making stuff up too, which is fine and cool. They can make it do what it do. Everybody got their own thing. However, when you are speaking and you're moving on behalf of you, you're not thinking or worried about anyone else. You're doing what you got to do for you. You're saying what you need to say. You're utilizing whatever you have to utilize to help you grow, heal, and tell your story. Now, that's just what it is. Each time I come on here and I'm channeling stuff to y'all and I'm giving y'all messages, I know a lot of us go through the same thing at different times and different aspects and different situations, so I always share my experience, confirmation. And I'm going to keep telling y'all, even if you're right, even if you are innocent, even if you're not the one in the wrong, even if you are the one that literally you have no clue what's going on. You have no clue about the people that really are around you. Like, you think that they love you, they're your family. You might have little moments with them, but however, who's perfect? But the whole time, like, people really be hating you. When I say hating you, and it could be literally for nothing. It could just be because of something that they want. It could just be because of anything. I'm telling y'all. Watch the people that you have close to you that don't ever acknowledge or celebrate you. Watch how people look at you when they think you're not looking. Watch how they react and respond when you have hit or reached a milestone. Watch the people that's always trying to push your buttons, and a lot of times it'd be the people that you would least expect it. The people that's like, oh, I don't call no popo, recording you, trying to press your buttons and record you to go stand in front of a judge and show. They'll put a narrative out about you. They'll say like, oh, she's HOE, she does this, she does that, and it's no proof of it, so they make the proof. That's what I'm saying. Just like the video recording you. Oh, she loses her top, she has issues, she's great. So they will conjure up a situation to make the proof that you're crazy, when all reality you're not crazy. Like, they thought of a situation that would make them snap, and they implemented it on you, and you were unknowing. And that would make anybody slap. Like, especially if somebody like slept with somebody else in your bed while you're at work, and the woman wants to. I think that it's cute that they fondled with and somebody else's bed. Disgusting. Never. I would never. That's nasty. Okay. It'd be a situation you react like that. Like, anybody would be like drama. Not the one. Like, I'm more so quiet, you know, like, no, okay, whatever. I'll take being a punk, scary, whatever you want to call it. I've never been somebody that just want to fight, you know. However, I'm not scared to fight. So I'm gonna defend myself. I'm not gonna be your punch it bag, no, but I'm not somebody that's just gonna be like, oh yeah, come on. No, like, who does that? I'm a girl. I'm a girly girl. I'm a girl, okay? Just saying, people will create situations. Person, believe it or not, they will make a page and put your pictures and stuff on it and start inboxing another friend, them to be inboxing each other back, pretending like it's you. When reality, they done made a whole fake page and they are pretending like it's you talking to that person or this person. And like, people take time out to do stuff like that. Yes, it screams psychopath, and they are psycho, but they are out there. And people, the worst part is people, family members know that these people are mental health patients, like diabolical, like Lifetime movie type of characters, and they feed it. Oh, she's just like that. No, it's not okay just to say somebody is just like that. What happens when somebody really gets hurt? What happens when an innocent person gets hurt because y'all kept saying, oh, they just like that? Are you gonna let them live with you? You can go to sleep with that same person in the house with you that you know that then went out their way and did all of this to gain money, or to gain a person, or to gain popularity, or just because they didn't like that person because they dated the same. Y'all, you can watch somebody do all of this weird stuff, make accounts, steal pages, you know, do all this weird stuff, catfish using somebody pictures that they don't like, and then try to put it out. Like, is that, you gonna watch somebody do all this, and you really telling me that y'all aren't going to address this issue head on, which is the one that's putting all that work against somebody that don't know them, or just know of them but pay them no mind. Like, some people know how to let go of situations and keep it moving, especially in terms of myself. Like, I always tell you, I didn't have issues with being attached to people. I was always somebody pretty detached. Like, I was always a loner. I've never had to have, I didn't like a big group of people. I don't like the center of attention. I've always been like that, more like, oh, don't look at me type of person my whole entire life. That's why I had got started when I was starting going through my spiritual awakening. You know, my team just kept like, okay, you got to start getting your face out there. So that's where this page came from, for me to be able to start getting myself out there. And if you go look from the beginning, I've been doing this for maybe almost a year. If you go all the way down in my videos, you will see it's a big difference between when I first started and here today, and it's only been a year. And then I got more comfortable with showing my gifts, which is where Ancestor Says came from. Actually, first it was X-Rated Tarot, now it's Ancestor Says. So this is the insert, so let's get back to the main subject. Y'all know how to do it. People will deliberately set up scenes or situations that's made to make you feel some type of way. You know what I'm saying? Like, they would do something that anybody on this earth would feel some type of way about, but record you secretly and your reaction to it and make a narrative on it as they want to. They will not show. I deliberately did something that literally anybody would react it that way to, including myself, to get that type of reaction so I can record it. And people out here that will literally do things to you so they can get a reaction out you, so they can utilize it for their benefit, whether it's to swing a court case, whether it's to make a narrative about you, anything that's going to benefit them. And that's going to benefit them, you don't have proof of what happened before. All you have is your word. So your word against some orchestrated video footage is what? To give stuff to God, because you can't change the things people do. And whether it's right or wrong or okay or not, you can't change things that has happened. You have to learn how to be able to know that at the end of the day, I put it in God's hand. At the end of the day, I stand in my truth. I know what happened. It doesn't matter what other people think, say, feel. You know, at the end of the day, it is what it is. And keep it moving and keep going forward with your life. There are a lot of things in this world that are just weird. But you can't, it's never going to be a world with no type of weird people in it. So once you've been through that, it teaches you, for one, how to look for that, and also it teaches you that you have to learn how to have self-control, no matter if you're wrong or right, no matter if somebody did something that was diabolical or not. That's why you have to cultivate that attitude where it's like, you can't disrespect me because I have nothing to do with you, your body, or your choices. Again, I only can control me. So the only thing that can disrespect me is my own actions. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to take accountability in every situation. You know, even if it's something that's foul or wrong in terms of you, you also have to take note to the fact that I did allow that person to push my buttons. You know, I did allow that person to get me in a position where I was that open to that blow. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if it was something that was done that was totally diabolical to me, why did I allow them to even put me in that position that I reacted in a way that they could use against me, no matter whether you're wrong or right? So y'all just be careful with that. People will record you. Not, you know, we know people will secretly try to record you doing things, and a lot of times we hear about people doing that in the SEXUAL, like that type of manner, but people also do it as a character assassination. People will also do it at your reaction to them. Like, they could have came in and smacked you in the face and you got up and came after them defending yourself, and they would have recorded it like you were the aggressor. They could have recorded you and act like you're just a maniac. You know, people would do stuff that they know that if it was done to them, that they probably would react worse. Like, you might have defended yourself like you are getting physically aggressive, while if it was them, they probably would have banged you. You know, you wouldn't even be breathing if you did it to them, but they will take that and use it against you. People do stuff that are totally against any moral code to maneuver and bend things in their way, and, you know, to you, and sit there and think that, okay, you know, well, I did it because it's no excuse. You have to know that those type of people, that you forgive them, but you don't let them back in your life. Like, if they did something like that to you one time, especially thinking that you would never find out or you would never know about it, what in the world else have they done that they buried under a rug that you're going to find out about? And how far will they go next time knowing that you do know, or it is a way for you to find out? Next time, they might not want to leave you as evidence to be able to speak on your truth. And also, we know that some things happen that you have no physical proof on proving yourself. So that's another thing. You coming at them, accusing them and questioning them about it don't help either, because then they use that against you as well. Like, oh my God, she's crazy, she said da-da-da. But nobody really, you don't have any physical proof. I mean, I'm sure there's some out there, especially if it is pertaining to a court case. However, you don't know the details of it. You don't know, you know, all that. And they know this, and they probably purposely made it in a situation where it'd be hard for you to dig it up. So it's no point in approaching them about it either. It's like, that's one thing about being an empath. When you know, you have to be 100% confident in yourself, your gifts, and your downloads, you know. And at the end of the day, you let God make it do what it do. And God, when it's time and whatever He wants to be exposed or put out or, you know, addressed, it will be. That's where you have to have that faith that cannot be broken. You know, it's easier said than done. So much easier said than done. However, just understand that what people do or do against you or towards you has nothing to do with your character. And the people that fall for it, the people that help, the people that conspire with it, they're just as guilty, for one. And for two, you can never trust them either, especially if they know that's what's going on. You know, just understand that just because people look like they're well put together, or look like they're honorable, or look like they have some type of authority or righteousness in them, that does not mean that that's true. Some people have a title of authority, but that does not mean they have a character of authority. You know what I'm saying? Some people get in positions and jobs and things so they can allow little things like that pass, so they can help scheme and scam, not so they can help get the schemes and scams off of the street. Some of them do them so they can help them get away with it, you know. But it is what it is. Like, we know money is not the root of all evil. The people that's in control of the money, they are the ones that are evil and come up with the plans. Money can't make you something that you are not already. If you getting a little bit of money, change you, make you this, that, you was already that person. You just feel comfortable in being like that, more so out loud, because you can pay your way. That's a fact. So always hold emotional control. Just because you don't react, just because you don't respond, just because you don't go crazy or go off, does not mean that you are weak, does not mean that you're, no matter of fact, it means that you're strong. Especially when you can stand strong and hold your composure against things that anybody else would have been flipping and crazy about. That means you're stronger than the ones that even folded and schemed with that plan. That's for somebody. 999 and 911 might be angel sync numbers that you see in 333 and 1010. And as I always say, remember to pray. Bye, guys.